I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I used to wear a mask to cover up how I felt inside. And to prepare you, this isn't going to be a video on just your physical insecurities. We're going to be tapping into those intrusive thoughts where you get angry because you wish you never said that thing, or you wish you didn't attend that networking event because you kept stuttering. We are going to be getting into the version of yourself who does show up but compulsively lies about who they truly are because they are scared of judgment. Because I remember a time growing up and feeling like I was never good enough. Never good enough to be chosen for that lead role. Never good enough to get a first in my assignment. Not good enough to get a man that's going to treat me like a queen. Not good enough to share my knowledge and the skills that I had, even though I knew that I had the power to transform the life of others. Instead, I procrastinated. I showed up not as my authentic self, but as the mask that I created for myself. How I wanted to be perceived by others, rather than actually being myself. And what I was really waiting for was the validation. Validation that my work was good enough. Validation that I can show up as my messy self. Validation or feedback to feel powerful enough to make the change in the life of others. If my story resonates with you, and you can relate to it, this video is going to be your wake-up call. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 shifts that you can make today to go from living out that internal child who didn't get the love that she deserved to the version of yourself who embodies what true confidence means to you. Confidence doesn't come from being praised. It comes from learning to validate yourself in silence. So I remember the first time I posted something real on IG. No filters, no aesthetic, just the truth, okay? I lost followers, I panicked, but I also felt so free and liberated because for the first time, I wasn't performing. I was expressing my true self and what I was passionate about. So your brain has this built-in reward system called the dopaminergic. Dopaminergic? Fuck. I think that's what it's called, but you could, I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say anyway. Let's move on. Oh, the pathway. Okay. So when you depend on others for your approval, you're kind of outsourcing that chemical hit. But when you set your own standards and you meet them, you naturally kind of activate this kind of confidence loop from within. So the shift that you need to make, the first shift that you need to make is you need to stop asking, will they like this? And start asking, does this feel authentic? The second shift that you guys are going to make is you're going to silence that survival self. And you are going to learn how to choose presence over protection. Your fear is not you. It's your nervous system trying to keep you safe. But safety and growth can't coexist at the same time. So before I started kind of coaching and creating, I used to second guess every decision that I made. I thought that overthinking meant that I was being responsible, but all it really did was delay the life that I really wanted to live. And because my overthinking was still kind of based in this fair response of not wanting people to perceive what I do or what I say in the wrong way, or to not look at me as the transformational coach that I am, but see me as this like insecure teenager that I used to be. That was my fear. And it wasn't until I understood and started to integrate in my mind that fear is a program trying to protect me from coming out of my comfort zone. And reciting that in my mind allowed me to be able to take action even when I didn't feel comfortable. Because I also knew that if I stayed in my comfort zone, I wasn't growing. And if I wasn't growing, then I couldn't have the life that I always dreamed of. And in neuroscience, the amygdala processes fear before the logic, but the prefrontal cortex, the kind of decision-making part of your brain, can override that when you take a pause, you breathe, and you ask, what is the actual risk here? The shift that you need to make here is you need to pause when you get into that spiral state and take one micro action that could kind of be the proof that your fear does not exist, or kind of take you to the next step or wherever you're trying to go. Now, the third shift is you are going to embody before you are ready. So you're going to align with your future self now. the version of yourself that is magnetic, the version of yourself that is confident, the version of yourself that is untouchable. That version of yourself already exists. You just haven't chosen to be that person yet. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a point in my life when I kept on saying to myself, I'll start when I feel more confident, but that confidence never came until I started to embody my future self, acting like her, walking like her, speaking like her, even before I believed I was her. And at a quantum level, the universe responds to your frequency, not your intentions. So when you act like your higher self now, you collapse that timeline and you magnetize that version of yourself towards you. So the shift that you need to make is you need to embody the version of yourself that you desire to be. And you need to do this before you believe that you deserve it. And that's how you are going to become them. And to do this, I advise you try out my free Manifest Your Higher Self workbook, which will take you through the steps of discovering and aligning with the version of yourself who is already a confident boss who makes shit happen. Period. Now, the fourth shift is you're going to redefine your failure. You have to detach your worth from your results. Insecurity thrives where your identity is tied to outcomes. And this real sense of confidence that you're looking to create is built when your value stays constant, win or lose. When I first started speaking, I would overanalyze every decision that I made, every mission and message that I sent. I'd beat myself up if someone didn't respond to me. I would assume that their silence meant that I wasn't good enough, but obviously that wasn't the truth. That was just, I'm guessing, an old wound trying to write my story. There is this system in our brain called the reticular activating system, called the RAS. We're going to call it the RAS system. RA system, that's what we're going to call it. Okay. So basically what this does, it filters information based on your core beliefs. And if you believe that you're not good enough, your RA system will look for that proof, even if it's not true. And that's why sometimes when something happens in our life and then we go on social media, we kind of see things like messages said by other creators that aligned with what we believed happened. And this is your RA system working in real time. And with this knowledge, the shift that you are going to make is that you are going to detach your identity from your results. You are not here to impress anybody. You are here to impact and become your best self, and do that while you're fulfilling your purpose. Period. Now, the fifth shift is you are going to learn to speak your truth even when your voice shakes. Your confidence grows in direct proportion to how honest you're willing to be, especially with yourself. One of the most pivotal moments in my journey was admitting that I'm not showing up because I'm afraid of being judged, not because I'm not ready. And that level of honesty, it liberated me. I'm not gonna lie to you. The law of correspondence tells us as within, so without. So the more truth you allow internally, the more power you exclude externally. So the shift that you're going to make is you're going to say the scary thing. You're going to post the imperfect truth, because that's where your real power lives. And if you have taken anything from this video, let it be this: you are not behind. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are just in a cycle of seeking external validation. But your higher self, she isn't in this space just waiting for you to come and grab her. She is already inside of you. She is already certain. She is already calm. She is already unfazed. You don't need to build confidence. You need to remember who the fuck you were before you started to doubt yourself, or before the world started to teach you how to doubt yourself. Period. So stop rehearsing, start recording. And if you are looking for someone to kind of walk you through this transformation because you're still having the self-doubt, you're not sure if you're taking the right step, or if you're thinking the right things, or the steps ahead of you are not clear enough, then my Aligned Action Deep program is open to the entire public. So if you want to learn more about that deep program, make sure you check the description below. There will be a link in the description to go to my Stan store. You can check out my landing page, and it will tell you everything that you should expect from the Aligned Action Deep program. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, but you don't have to. But Make sure you subscribe to get more raw content that is going to challenge you to become your highest and most authentic self in real time. And if you have made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace.